Hello there, welcome to another One Mind meditation. While we're waiting, giving it a few moments for whoever wants to join today to come online with us. You can settle yourself down into a really comfortable seated or lying down position. And waiting for a few moments, start some slow, deep belly breathing. Breathe in through your nose. Fill up the balloon in your belly as you inhale, and as you exhale, feel how your belly shrinks again as the air comes all the way out. Hey Melanie, so good to see you. Very good morning to you. And in just a few minutes, we'll be ready to float away on today's journey together. I've got a couple of quotes, and all the quotes are specifically about today's journey. Today's journey is called surrender. And if surrender is something you have struggled to make sense of or understand what the power in surrender is, because surrender often feels like losing. It feels like giving up. It feels like the end of the road. Good morning, Pat. Good to see you. And today's journey is that. It is surrender, and hopefully by doing today's journey, it'll become clearer to you what exactly surrender is and what the practical application of surrender is. What does surrender mean for my day-to-day life? Anthony, good evening to you, brother. It's good to see you. So some of these quotes might shine a little bit of a light on what surrender is, and some of them might still be vague, but I hope that at least one of them really hits the mark for you. The first one I've got is surrender is giving up what we think should be happening for what is actually happening. And in that sense, to me, surrender and being present really is the same thing. Being present, stepping into presence, is really what surrender means. And in that act of surrender, we give up what we think should be happening, and we become available to see what really is happening. Now that can be a very powerful place to be from a very practical point of view. If we're basing our decisions and our actions, then we know, good morning Marcella, good to see you, we know that nothing changes until we take action. Things only change by taking action, but it's very easy to pour all our energy and all our action into something that is wasted because we're holding on to an idea of what should be happening right now, and we're basing our decision to take action on a thought of what we think should be happening right now. But in surrender we find what really is happening, and now when we see what to take action on, our energy is not wasted. Good morning, Karen, good to see you. Right, next little quotes. Surrender is like a fish, finding the current and going with it. Surrender is like a fish, finding the current and going with it. And if that doesn't shine the light on a very practical application of surrender, oops, daisy, sorry, I'm still busy adjusting myself over here, then I don't know. That is a very, very clear practical application for surrender. Surrender is like a fish, finding the current and going with it. Then just, I think, two more beautiful quotes. Eckhart Tolle says, bring acceptance into your non-acceptance. Bring surrender into your non-surrender and see what happens. I understand that might not sound practical. It might not give you any advice on what to practically do, but the words are beautiful. Bring acceptance into your non-acceptance. Bring surrender into your non-surrender, and see what happens. And the last quote I've got for you this morning, and this is very practical, even though it might not give you an answer. But I have received this message over and over and over again, and subsequently I have given this message over and over and over again. When you don't know what to do, when it's not clear what action to take, keep surrendering. Surrender even more. That's what the quote says. When you don't know what to do, keep surrendering. Surrender even more. Because if you don't know what to do, it means you don't have clarity. And if you don't have clarity, surrender even more. It's like allowing the pond to become clear. If you don't have clarity, the pond is not clear. And you don't clear the pond by splashing some more. When you splash some more, the pond becomes more murky, more muddy. If you don't have clarity, surrender some more. Keep on surrendering. Go even deeper. So if you're all ready, let's float away on today's journey together. You can close your eyes, switch that light off. Here we go. Take a deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep inhale. Let it go. Deep breath in. And release. And one more together breath. Deep breath in. And release. Continue with the same breathing pattern on your own time. Inhaling deeply, slowly. And as you do, stretch your spine. Lift the top of your head a little bit higher toward the ceiling. And as you release, soften your spine, drop your shoulders, drop your head. The first phase of our daily meditation is designed for surrender. We start our meditation by helping our body physically, our physical body, find a place of surrender. By doing a couple of minutes of slow, full body breathing, we teach every cell in our body to unclench. Find a space of softness, space of gentleness, which literally is a space of kindness toward ourselves. Which is why, if there's one tool you take from the daily meditation to apply to the rest of your day, it's this one. Stop for a few minutes of full body breathing periodically through your day. Allow your whole body to stop and surrender. Allow every cell in your body to unclench. Real surrender always leads to action. But action is at the tail end. It's the last step. Trust that when you surrender, to the process, you will find clarity on how to take action. But first, just surrender. By taking the last few breaths together, by stretching our bodies, moving, adjusting, we help our bodies find a deeper surrender. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you release, drop your head forward. And very gently roll out your neck muscles in big half circles to the left and to the right. Finding where there is some stiffness and some resistance in your muscles, and leaning into that stiffness, gently leaning into the area that puts up resistance. Even that is a very small example of surrender. Find where there's resistance and lean into it. Deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. When you feel a big yawn coming from deep in your being, surrender to it. Let that big yawn completely overtake your body. By leaning into it, not resisting it, the big yawn passes fairly quickly, bringing with it a very deep release. Another big breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine, curving your spine from your head down to your tailbone into an S as you sway to the left and to the right. Taking one last big breath in. As you release, stretch, remove, or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. From this space of beautiful presence, and presence already is having stepped into surrender. We can take that deep dive inside and take ourselves on the whole journey of surrender. With every inhale, we'll hold our breath for just a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. And release. The longest, slowest, most drawn out exhale. Deep breath in. And hold. And release. Feel how your shoulders slowly sag downwards as you exhale. Deep breath in. And hold. And release. Embody that downwards movement of your shoulders, feeling yourself melting. One more together breath. Deep breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself dissolving into an even deeper surrender. Continue with the same breathing pattern on your own time. Inhaling deeply and slowly in through your nose. Following the air inside. Feeling how it touches the sides of your throat. Staying with the breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up that balloon inside your belly, find yourself slipping into that inner world. Holding the breath for a few moments is a physical manifestation of holding yourself inside for a few moments. You spending time inside of you. Hold your breath only for as long as it feels really good. Over time, a longer and longer breath hold will feel really good. When you exhale, make it the slowest, longest exhale possible, feeling with every exhale how you melt into that deeper surrender. With your next big breath as you dive deep inside, experience that surrender. Take your next big breath. Surrender always leads to action. But the first step of surrender lies in overcoming the compulsion to act, the compulsion to react. Because there's a huge difference between action and reaction. With your next deep breath, as you dive deep inside, willingly relinquish the compulsion of reacting. As you take your next big breath, visualize, instead of acting, instead of reacting, taking a step back and looking. Taking a step back and observing. Take your next big breath. When I step back in surrender, without the compulsion to act, I see me. Almost as if stepping outside your own body. I see me with a busy mind, busy thoughts, with a body trying to fight or furiously treading water. Each one of those thoughts, each one of those automatic reactions, a response to fear. With your next big breath as you dive deep inside, simply take that step back and look at you. See if you can also spot sometimes a very busy mind, a body that wants to act, react, wants to fight. All of this reaction to some inner fear. Take your next big breath. When I take a step backwards and surrender, and observe this human's busy mind, this human's body reacting in fear. I get a deep sense of this human really just trying his best to survive. And however that might turn out, sometimes it turns out good, sometimes it turns out bad, it gives me an appreciation for the fact that I've always just really tried hard. The next big breath, take that step back, and with a little bit of distance, see how you've always just really tried your hardest. Take your next big breath. When I come to this space of surrender again and again and again, deciding to take the journey of surrender, I start to learn that this human I'm looking at, this human with his busy mind and his body that always wants to either fight or run away, that's not who I am at all. This busy mind and this tightly wound up body is simply a reaction to fear. I can see that this is how I have learned how to survive. This is a reaction I have learned in response to the world around me. And in this space of surrender, I see more and more clearly that this response is not who I am. It's only habits I have taken on board. With your next big breath as you dive deep inside, take the question down with you. Who am I under all of this fear? Who am I underneath all of this busy mind? Who am I underneath this tightly wound up body? Take your next big breath. take the last few breaths of this phase together. With every deep, diving breath, ask the question again. Take the question down with you. Who am I underneath all of this fear? Underneath all of the layers I have taken on board in order to protect myself. And have the expectation of openness. The expectation that this journey, maybe not today, but this journey again and again will show you exactly who you are. Let's take the last few breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. And release. Feeling how your body slowly sags down as you exhale. Diving down again deeply. Deep breath in. And hold. And release. Feeling your body melt, dissolve. One more together breath. Deep breath in. And hold. And as you release, feeling your body relax completely, feel yourself slip into the next space. A space of complete ease. No more attention on your breathing. Find yourself floating in a deep surrender. Find yourself just looking at you. Everything has been created to create. Whether it's the flowers, the trees, the animals in the forest. Everything has been created to create, and we are no different. response to fear teaches us how to create in fear. How to create because we are scared of consequences. What masks to wear because if we don't wear the right mask, we are not acceptable. What layers of armor to cover our heart with. Because if we don't cover our heart, there's a fear of getting hurt. Bringing ourselves into the space of surrender again and again and again. Helps us take the masks off. Helps the layers of armor dissolve. Helps me see me, the being that I am underneath all of the fear. And the more I spend time in this space, in this essence of my being, come to learn who I really am. I'm not all the bad habits I picked up. I'm not a series of bad reactions. I'm a pure being of love. I was created to create. The more comfortable I become in finding this surrender, it's like my pond settling. The mud in my pond settling. Because I have stopped splashing. And with that settling comes clarity. The clarity of who I am, which brings the clarity of what action to take. It is only after I become really clear about who I am that I can become really clear on what to take action on. Without surrender, most of our action is wasted energy, wasted on fighting thoughts, wasted on reacting to the world around us. It is only by discovering who I really am that I discover what my purpose is, that I find clarity in what to take action on. Surrender always leads to action. If you don't have clarity yet, keep surrendering. Surrender even deeper. Trust the process. We've got the last 5 breaths of today's meditation left. 5 breaths of gratitude. On every exhale, I'll say my thank you. And I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this beautiful process of surrender. Deep breath in. Thank you for learning how overcoming the compulsion to take action leads to the clarity of what action to take. Deep breath in. Thank you for discovering underneath all of the fear, underneath all of the old behaviors, the original being that I am. Deep breath in. Thank you for a circle of beautiful people to share space with every day. One more together breath. Deep breath in. Thank you, all the beautiful humans in our circle today. Melanie, it was so good to see you again. Thank you for everyone popping in, sharing your space with us, sharing your energy with us, finding a space of deep surrender together. Imagine a world in which more and more of us can more easily discover that place of surrender. And instead of a bunch of reactive humans running around, overacting, we can become a community of whole, healed humans who move just a little bit slower, but move from a place of wisdom, a place of having found clarity. We are busy building that world. Joey, good morning. It's good to see you. Vivienne, a very good morning to you. Derek, thank you for joining. I hope you were able to do the whole meditation with us, Derek. Thanks for the beautiful messages, Anthony and Maggie. Have a beautiful day, all of you. See you back here again tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.